What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. As somebody that reads RPG horror stories myself, I gotta be honest, I don't have much of my own personal RPG horror stories. Actually, that is wrong. I do have maybe one or two. If I do have any RPG horror stories of my own, would you like to hear them out at some point? Stories of DMs doing something really weird? Anyway, while you answer that in the comment section below, I'm gonna go ahead and get to the first story for today. Accused of bait and switching and not running real D&D. So I was a bit tired of these typical adventure parties and wanted to run a game where the character have tighter social connections. Came up with a campaign where everyone's playing a Red Wizard of Thay. The character starts at level 1. They're apprentices in training. During the campaign, they face the reality of Red Wizards being what they are, must choose whether to try and escape, embrace the organization, or do something else entirely. I imagine the campaign would culminate in the civil war of Red Wizards. I pitched the game for people in university gaming clubs since the club has nice rooms for gaming and lots of potential players. The game is quickly filled. There's one person I'd loathe to take on board since I witnessed her causing drama to the other DMs, but the club rules say I can't discriminate anyone, so despite my bad feelings about it, I take her as my 5th player. It's not discrimination, you just don't want bad actors in your game. Like, if you know somebody's gonna be a jackass, why would you want a jackass to join your game? But I guess if it's a club rule, it's damned if I do, damned if you don't. You're kind of in a hard spot there. But hey, let's see how this plays out. If this played out great, it wouldn't be on RPG Horror Stories. Let's continue. We have a session 0 that goes fine, except she sends a message 15 minutes before we begin that she can't make it. She says we should cancel the session. I disagree and she pivots to offer an online presence. Luckily, the room has a conference phone so we can plug her in. The conversation goes fine, I think. Everyone's coming up with the character ideas. Although everyone is a wizard, they're choosing different schools. She's just silent though and doesn't react when I ask her questions. Her only question is to ask about character classes, and I repeat, everyone starts as wizards, but they can later multi-class if they want. So yeah, 2 red flags. I'd heard about drama she caused before and she was problematic at session 0, but I couldn't throw her out because of the club rules. On comes the first session. Everyone arrives buzzing with excitement. Everyone else have shared the character sheet with me at D&D Beyond and gone over the background in private, except her. So I asked her to show me her character sheet. I'm amazed when I see that she made an ASMR paladin of Tyr. I'm shocked. Like, didn't she read the campaign ad I posted or listen to anything in session 0? How is this possible? Possible because she is a problem player and she just wants to do what she wants to do and not just read the posting, because she probably thinks her concept or her idea is just better or more impressive than whatever you're thinking of. Is it going to be a Mary Sue story? I hope it's not another Mary Sue story, but it might be. I don't know. Maybe she thinks she's the bestest ever, or she just thinks she has better ideas than the DM. Who knows? I take a moment to collect myself and tell her that unfortunately this character doesn't fit the campaign. As we agreed in session 0, all characters must be level 1 wizard who are apprentice of the Red Wizard organization. So unfortunately her paladin is out, but she can make a new wizard right there. Their spare sheets and level 1 characters are easy to make. Her reaction? A total emotional meltdown. She starts yelling how she was afraid this was the case, but wanted to give me a chance, how she should have known I'm just another misogynist who wants to ruin her life. There were 2 other women along the players, as a side note. She starts sobbing, which makes me feel really difficult. She's ugly crying about how I'm not running D&D. I'm running some crappy homebrew. In real D&D, players make their characters that can choose themselves. This is at a university, mind you. This girl has no ability to read the post. She didn't read the post. She was just like, D&D, I will join, I will come, I'll make whatever I want to do and whatever I want to be. If the post said it's a specific scenario with the specific rules and sets and stuff, the least you could do is read on what it is. Maybe ask questions during session 0. Be like, hey, I know you said wizards only, but could I make a paladin of Tyr? Can we come to a compromise? Like, seriously, why did she say anything at session 0? If she had been mad and aggressive, it had been easy to take. This was just a punch in the gut. She just kept going and going, showing no move to either leave or make a new character, making everyone in the room extremely uncomfortable. So I decided to stop the session there. Everyone just left while she kept blaming me for ruining her hobby, lying to people about claiming I'm ruining D&D when I'm really not. Doesn't stop there though. You see, I told you I'm part of the university gaming club. Oh yeah, another reminder. This is a college student adult woman that's acting like a brat. I've now heard through the grapevine she just started contacting club officials with accusations against me. How I bait people to play D&D, but really force them to play something else. How I discriminate and abuse players. These kind of accusations could get me banned. Abusing players because you said your game is wizard only and she makes a paladin and you say, no, please make a wizard. That's abuse to this woman. This is an adult woman going to university and she's claiming abuse because she's not allowed to make a paladin in a wizard only game. This woman doesn't belong to going to university. She belongs to going to kindergarten because this is ridiculous. I'm in a bit of a shock, honestly. I need to put some kind of defense in a club, I suppose, and I don't know if I just need to end the campaign before it even began. Really sucks to just want to give a different experience in gaming and then get told what you're doing is not real D&D. If she wants to find real D&D, she can join other sessions that can tolerate her behavior. But you're fine to want to do a Red Wizard campaign. There's nothing wrong with wanting to go Red Wizard campaign at all. It might be good just post these sort of sessions online instead of at local university. It might be more difficult to adjust to it and stuff, but Roll20 exists and VTT Foundry is a thing too. You have options out there. Use the options. And also make sure that you just don't have her as a player ever again. And just, yeah, don't do that. Absolute clown world. Let's get to the next story for today. 5e Player, me, tries to transfer to Pathfinder and gets belittled by my new DM for not knowing the system. I've only ever played D&D5e. I'm decently experienced and at this point, almost a year ago, I had both DM'd and played for about 3 years. One of my long distance friends, Bobby, who I previously DM'd for, started dating a new guy IRL named Ronald. I was forever DM cruising through with my year's burnout and Ronald was super into Pathfinder. Bob brought up my interest in 5e to Ron and Bob then reached out to me letting me know that Ron was into the idea of running an online game for us and a few other of Bob's online friends. I had just watched Dimension 20's Fantasy High playthrough at this time and it was really into the idea of Zach's character Gorgug. I wanted to make a similar character and had this idea for a high-elf barbarian noble, angsty teen, whose rage was a flare-up of My Chemical Romance angst, who hates everyone and everything because the world doesn't understand him and neither do his noble parents and yada yada. I thought it was really silly and I was super excited to be able to play this character. Actually sounds like a really fun character concept. I wonder how that plays out. He had us all do individual session zeros with him and as soon as I brought this character idea up to him, he did his best to shoot down every idea I had without actually denying me the ability to play this character. Needless to say, Ron did not like the character at all. Funnily enough, he didn't think the character would be hard to roleplay or would have a rough time getting along with the group. What he did hate was my choice of stats. When I was transferring my stats, I let him know I wanted my boy to have low wisdom score because he was really sheltered, but a decent intelligence because his parents put good money towards the son's education. He did everything short of telling me this was a dumb idea, asking me if I wanted to be ambushed because I couldn't perceive hidden enemies, suggesting outright that I wanted my character to die a stupid death. If they're gonna be in a party of other people, somebody's gonna have high wisdom, and if the player has like low wisdom and stuff, no big deal, that's fine, let them play that out because other players will see somebody in the ambush or bush or strike in an ambush or something. I don't know. I really don't see how that much of a problem really, unless it's something that's Pathfinder only or something. I don't know. I'd never really played Pathfinder 2e myself. I know it exists. I know some of the stuff about it, but does wisdom matter that much? Is having low wisdom really gonna kill your character? I doubt it, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I kind of laughed this off and moved past it. And then I mentioned I wanted my character to have a really high strength score, but look like a twig. He kind of lost it on me, telling me he would not have a character in his game that looked like that. That it was really odd that he was controlling my stats based on my character's physical build, as honestly, that was just flavor. He then proceeded to show me pictures of buff men while describing each one's strength score. He said there was zero chance my character could have an 18 strength while looking the way I wanted him to. I again brushed this off and just kind of conceded and I was like, whatever, he's buff, sure. Well, not really agreeing. Yeah, but like you have this teenage angst That could be the fuel for your strength. The strength is the spirit in your body. Your body is able to handle it just fine, but it's the fire in your heart that gets you through these situations that really brings out your strength. I mean, I don't know. I've seen some people that are pretty lanky and lean, or people that don't look like they're, built like a truck, being strong enough and stuff. I think that's fine. Listen, it's all make-believe. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Let the character look how they want to look. Why does it matter how they look? It's a cosmetic option and doesn't have to specifically reflect the stats. I get it. Some people just want to play really buff characters, and that's fine by you. You do whatever you want. But sometimes you just want to play somebody that's not necessarily built like a brick house. And that's okay. That's fine. That's okay to choose your character's appearance. After all, it's just appearance anyway. We went on to pick my skills with little trouble. I had them basically do that for me because there were so many. I was completely unfamiliar with Pathfinder. I suggested about an hour in that I should just scrap the character idea because it was obvious it wouldn't work. And I was feeling really downtrodden about the whole thing. I tried to laugh off everything he shot down and just played cool because it had been so long since I had a chance to play TTRPG as a player. I think I still think about this because of the repeated vague insults to my intelligence, given that I had no idea how Pathfinder works. I didn't know what would or wouldn't be okay, but I came to him with an idea that was a fine build for 5e, and he treated me like I was an actual idiot for even suggesting such a character could be viable. He never even told me the character wouldn't fit in the world or the setting itself. Just repeatedly let me know that's not how this works, with a little more insight than that. Why is he being such a jerk about it? Why not just teach him about the system or tell him about stuff? Like if let's say for example, I had a buddy or a friend who was like, hey, I want to play D&D, can you teach me? You know what the one thing I wouldn't do? Make somebody feel like an idiot for not knowing. They don't know the system. They don't know how it works. They don't know how it is. The least you could do is show them and teach them without coming off as a complete and utter dickhead. You're showing somebody the ropes and you want to teach them about the system so they can have an easy time getting into it. If you try to make them feel like an idiot the whole time and say, that's not how it works, that's not what it is, that's a stupid suggestion, then yeah, you're kind of an asshole, and it's a great way to push somebody from not even wanting to learn from you or not even want to even dive into the system because you already make it feel like an idiot already as is. If you just belittle the people that you're trying to teach or the system of that you're into, then of course they're not going to be into that sort of thing. We ended the call after about 2 hours and the whole thing left a really bad taste in my mouth. Started thinking up a new filler character who was a Minotaur barbarian. Thank God Bob and Ron broke up before the first session even started. I think a lot about how that campaign would have gone. It doesn't look pretty in my opinion. If the only thing Ron's gonna do is belittle you, then you probably dodged a bullet. You don't have to play with Ron ever again, which to me is a good thing. If you still want to learn Pathfinder, man, look no other place than YouTube right here for all kinds of guides on how to learn Pathfinder and what it is. You can learn about any TTRPG here on YouTube. You don't need a Ron this stickler to make you feel stupid about something you just want to learn about. There's nothing wrong with wanting to learn a new system or just learn anything. Ron's a jerk, and you shouldn't be associating yourself with jerks. And in a way, I don't know Ron and Bob personally, but if Ron treats Bob the same way they treated you, I'm glad they broke up too. Screw Ron. And with that, that's going to be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.